now it's 197 days until the World Cup and 9 days until the draw, so the pots have been released. There are 4 pots and these will be split into 12 groups. Note that all playoff winners will be placed in pot 4. And in these groups there is no more than 1 team from each confederation except for UEFA, as they're bringing notably more countries, 7 to be exact, than the next highest confederation. The hosts, Mexico, Canada and the US, are assigned to A, B and D. And a new restriction that has been imposed in these pots is that Spain, the first seed, Argentina, second seed, have been paired, as have France and England, who sit in third and fourth seed. So therefore, England won't be able to come against Spain or Argentina until the semi-finals, and France until the finals. The logic around this is that FIFA want to ensure the top-ranked nations don't meet early on in the knockout rounds, allowing for more big blockbuster games later on in the tournament.
Rubbish.
Okay, I think we know your opinion then. Nico, you don't like this?
No, not at all, because there's a certain dynamic that's been established in the knockout stage. You can't curate a knockout draw. I think that's the uncertainty is what we love, that the fact that a draw can kind of leave destiny in equal hands. You're fine-tuning where Argentina can go, where France can go, where England can go, where Spain can go. If Argentina and Spain finish in the same position in their group, either both first or both second, they'll go on opposite ends of the draw. And so will England and Spain. Why don't we just leave destiny to play its course? I don't like it.
This is the end of the group of death.
Why?
Because you could, when the draw was natural and when it was open, where you could get the big dogs against the big dogs. And it's just somebody else's luck. Why do it?
Yeah, I don't like it. I feel like it's protecting the big teams.
It's artificial.
Right?
Now, what I would say, if I was trying to be positive, is you've got more chance of, and because a smaller team, third place, can go through, you've got more chance of...
No, not anymore.
You've got more chance of an underdog story, is what I was going to say.
Yeah.
You've got more chance of an underdog story because of it.
Because of
the way they've seeded it. By keeping them all apart.
That's not necessarily true, because if just say Argentina and Spain, because of the luck of the draw, had to play in the round of 16, one of the big dogs would be eliminated, one against the other, and you have a cleaner path towards a potential semi-final.
Yeah. I've never been to a World Cup. Both of you have had the privilege working World Cups, being at the World Cups. In my opinion, outside of finals, I think the most memorable moments of the World Cup is when 2 big nations meet well beforehand. Yeah. Round of 16, quarterfinal matchups. I think 2010, South Africa, Brazil, Netherlands, that was such a big moment. I remember I was on the edge of my seat the entire match. England, France, quarterfinals, last World Cup. This robs us of those moments, saying, okay, these are the forecasters team. We're going to clear past for them to get through. I just, as a football fan, as a purist, which I don't use that word often, I feel robbed seeing this.
I mean, use that World Cup as an example, that bracket as an example. The Netherlands and Brazil met in that quarterfinal, and on the opposite side, it was Uruguay and Ghana. If it would have been seeded, perhaps Ghana would have had to go through more difficult opponents in order to get to a potential semifinal. Let's not go too far back. Morocco had the fortune of England and France going up against each other before that semi-final. That wouldn't have been the case if they would have been on opposite ends of the bracket, right? They would have had to gone through too many powerhouses. So, in my opinion, that underdog story has less of an opportunity, because the big dogs, the top 4 dogs, right? We're only talking about top 4 dogs at the moment, don't meet each other potentially until the semi-final.
Well, it boils down to, should the top seeds be assisted or protected, or should they have to prove themselves?
The top seeds are already protected because they're in pot 1.
The top they don't need more. They don't need more assistance.
And the 3 hosts are already protected because they'll get, in theory, a more favorable draw because they're in pot 1. Done. And you know what? That's great already. It's a great advantage because it gives weight to the FIFA rankings because of your form, because of how good you are, and that's already a benefit in your favor. Now you get the top 4 teams get another benefit. I think it's tweaking something that already worked really well.
And they've, am I right in saying, Nico, they've switched to the FIFA rankings as well instead of the Confederation rankings? Is that correct?
I think pot 1 was always determined because of the FIFA. I mean, all the pots were determined because of FIFA rankings.
I think it's just FIFA rankings across. I'm not sure.
So there's 4 pots and there's going to be 12 groups, lettered from A to L. So you can do some simulations, and that's what we've done today. And we're going to be taking a look at what we could potentially be seeing in the draw next Friday. So simulation 1 from Group A to F. What are we thinking here? Ooh. There's a lot to unpack.
Tough group for Mexico. And
Mexico, Croatia, Egypt, Denmark.
Wow.
So then we got...
Who's boldly put Italy in?
Yeah, it's true.
So in that group, it would be Canada, Japan, Ivory Coast, Italy, and these simulations just assume who has won the playoff, the winners of the playoff.
And Italy, by the way, is a pot 4 team. The other caveat here is that the positions within the group are already predetermined. That's another thing. So right now, I think what you're looking at is pot 4 teams as the 4th in this list.
Yeah.
Once the draw happens, you'll see that not necessarily it'll be Italy at the bottom. Italy can be drawn into that second. Italy could be drawn here into Japan's position. The first game would be Canada against Italy. Just keep that in mind. You look at the U.S.'s group. They already played South Korea, got beat. They'll have to go up against Erling Haaland and Norway. And then New Zealand, you would imagine that the U.S. has got to beat New Zealand. But that's, for example, I think that's a tough group for the U.S. too.
And quickly, Mexico, Canada, and the U.S. have already been assigned into A, B, and D.
And they know the cities where they're going to play already. So the U.S. will play L.A., Seattle, LA.
Okay, this is what the simulation could look like from G to L. England, Ecuador, Tunisia, Jordan. What would you say about that, Jeff?
Go on, England.
England, Ecuador.
Go on, England.
2006 World Cup, they were in 2006 World Cup? They were already in a group together, weren't they?
Yeah, there's history. History. Look, if you're one of the top seeds, Hannah, regardless if you're England, you're going to be confident in your group.
Yeah.
So if you look across there, if you look at France, look at Argentina, you look at England as well, look at those groups, you can say, yeah, I'm not too troubled by that. Yeah. Are you, Nico?
I'm trying to figure out what World Cup they were in the same group together. Wasn't it Trinidad, Ecuador, England, Sweden, 06?
Yeah.
Nico, I can't remember what happened yesterday.
I remember Trinidad because right? John Terry had that wild block with his head. I remember
Sweden, and I think it was Ecuador.
Okay.
Or Ecuador was in Germany's group. I forget about it. Anyway, Argentina, South Africa, Turkey, Austria. I'll take that if I'm
Argentina. That's what I'm saying. If you look at the top seeds and look at the groups they're in, if it comes like that, they're all going to be reasonably comfortable with that.
Okay, we can see another simulation, simulation 2, groups A to F. We've got Mexico, Colombia, Norway, Iraq.
This is just another simulation?
Yes.
Yeah. You can just do this online. What about Morocco there? Belgium, Morocco.
Again, yes. Back-to-back World Cups with Belgium in the group, right?
But don't you think, because now we're seeing, look, the Spain, England, France, Argentina in their own groups. Isn't that just going to prevent fun, big matchups early on?
Well, the more groups you have, the more you dilute the quality of the tournament. Like, I want to see where they're going to put Qatar, Cape Verde. Like, Qatar, Cape Verde in a 70,000-seater stadium is probably not going to sell out. And if you bought that ticket for that match specifically with the dynamic pricing, good luck.
What are your thoughts on Group D with USA, Ecuador, Scotland, and DR Congo?
That is the party of all parties.
Yeah, that would be
no Scotland, no party.
Hey, we'll go together, right? Because the Scots know how to throw a party. That's a brutal group for the United States. U.S., obviously the friendly against Ecuador. Good showing from them. If they go and they play DR Congo, I'll be there for that game. I'm the new biggest DR Congo fan.
You are Dr. Congo.
Yeah, he's a Dr. Congo. No, but I love that. I want to give a shout out, or maybe a shout down to Mexico. We've done a couple simulations.
They've had it
no bueno, and this is going to be a hell of a match given how poor they've been as of late. So I don't care what group Mexico's in. Being a top 1 team, I don't see them getting out of the group.
Okay, we can see now Group G to L. Don't love how there isn't any Poland in here. but they put in Italy instead.
Oh, Group I. Look at that. Oh, that's brutal.
Uruguay, Cote d'Ivoire.
That's the group of death in this simulation.
Yeah. Will this be your group of death, Nico?
Yeah,
In the
just said it.
simulation?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the group of death.
Who's
when you say group
making
of-
it out? Who's making it out of that group?
The Dutchies?
When you say group of death, what does that mean?
Yeah, it's the hardest group.
I see.
Look at these powerhouses. These are 6 World Cups in this group, a couple of finals in Netherlands, Ivory Coast that often is competitive.
Could be an easy walk for Argentina.
Do you think with the new format, though, Nico, going back to what we were saying earlier, that's the first time we've looked up here and seen a group of death?
I think it'll be very hard to get a strong group of death like this. I think how many simulations you'll make, I think it'll be difficult to find.
So instead of a group of death, it's a group of unwell people? Or?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, the strong potential, right, is whoever draws Norway just because of Haaland, and whoever draws Uruguay and Colombia, who's in that pot.
I'd also put Japan. I'd also put Japan. We've seen Japan have success in group stages.
Are you going back on Uruguay? They were not in good shape against the US.
Yeah, they're not. Uruguay are not great at the moment, especially with the dynamic, again, between their players and their manager.
I'm surprised you promoted them as a team that could be troublesome.
It's just with the history that Uruguay has at the World Cup.
Okay, everyone, just to note, we did not just do the World Cup draw, in case that was a thing you were thinking about, because the World Cup draw is next Friday, and we will be here from 12 to 3 for the Golazo Matchday 2026 draw ahead of the World Cup draw, including a watch-along event of the event itself.